Hi, this is Brett Senkis. Today, I just got back from a mediation. I've got a client who is in a business dispute, and we had a mediation clause that I drafted in our original agreement. It's not a business partnership exactly. It was a merger and acquisition. We sold the business, and my clients, actually there's two individuals who sold the assets of a business to another, and they're both working for the business. So it's a type of business partnership, more of an employer-employee relationship, but it's something I'd probably call a business partnership of sorts. So we have a mediation clause, and we were in mediation today, and we did not reach a resolution. And that was frustrating. We thought we were going to at one point, but the parties were too far apart. And driving home, I was thinking about that and thinking mediation is an amazing thing. I've talked a lot about it before. I almost always put it in contracts. There are a couple contexts in which I won't for a couple reasons, but for the most part, I put it in. Mediation is a quick process. We were there for 1 day. My clients paid $1,300 to a mediator. The other side paid $1,300. So it's not, free or cheap, but it's relatively inexpensive and it's worth a shot. And it doesn't often work, okay? But given what comes next, which is litigation in our case, or arbitration if you have an arbitration clause, mediation is a shot at a quick resolution, and it's a fairly amicable, fairly informal process, but it's still not really super amicable. So it got me thinking a little bit. If you are having a problem with a partner right now, and this is really for business partners who have been in business together for a while and have some history, and some of that history is positive, right? So there's some relationship here and things have worked well in the past. And it's also for someone who has not spoken to their partner about the issues recently. We all bury our head and do things in business partnerships and marriage. You can pick it up and realize, we haven't had a substantive conversation about the relationship or the partnership or the marriage or whatever in a while. So it's kind of for that situation. And no one's lawyered up yet, but it's not working. And you're starting to kind of complain to people, to your life partner or something. You're frustrated. Mediation today reminded me that what you need to do right now is to email or call your partner and set a time to meet. Set a time to meet outside the office, something not super formal, not super tense. And you got to have the difficult conversation. You've got to introduce that. And it doesn't have to be a super difficult one in the beginning. You could start off, instead of saying, I'm really unhappy with you, you could say, how do you think things are working? Like, are you happy? Is it working for you? How am I doing, right? However you need to get into that, do it now. Because mediation is a great thing, but we're already on a train that's heading down the wrong path. And even though the process was amicable at times, we thought we were going to get a deal done, you've got attorneys on each side. It's an acrimonious process, and it's an us versus them thing. We're often in our own room, and we're negotiating. There's multiple people weighing in, and they're, and trying hard to get a deal done, because litigation is a lose-lose all around. As I told my client today, it's not their first rodeo. They've been down this path before, and I said, you know how this works. If we don't get a deal done today, you're going to be back here in a year. You're going to be rode hard and hung up wet, is the old saying. It's like you're just going to be worked hard. You're going to spend time and money to get back to this point to settle. I heard recently that, someone told me 90% of cases in Travis County in Texas settle, but I've also heard 99%. Whatever the number is, it's a lot. But what happens is the parties, they're in their own corners. They can't make a deal work. They spend a year fighting, spending money, coming back to the table they could have been at today, the table they could have been at a couple months ago before mediation started. So if you're having a business partnership problem now, and that hasn't gotten to the point of litigation, and you haven't had a heart-to-heart conversation, do it now. There's an old proverb, when's the best time to plant a tree? It's 20 years ago. When's the second best time? Today. And I love that, but the point is, you should have done it months ago before you got to the point where it's strained or you're complaining to people. And if you're thinking that, pretty good chance your partner's thinking that. And it is possible that your partner has already started down the path of separating in their minds. And that's, it would be better if you had done things before that. But you don't know that. might be plenty of time to save it. And now when it's just the two of you, it's way better than when you get to this point. It's so much easier, and there's so much opportunity to save things. So if you're having a business partnership problem now, if you hadn't had that hard conversation in a long time, if there was a partnership that worked at some point in time, if there's some relationship to preserve, make the call now, right now. Do you have time for lunch tomorrow? Do you have time for a drink this weekend? Just lay it out there and open up, and it's so much easier to do before it gets to the point where we were at today. Sometimes it can't be saved. Sometimes it's heading there already, but sometimes it's a foregone conclusion. It doesn't always work, but it's way easier to do it now. Have the difficult conversation before it's way more difficult to have. If you've got questions about that, opinion on something you're dealing with, or how to navigate something, reach out to me. Business partnerships can be amazing, and they're worth trying to save if they're worth putting in place in the first instance. So best success with it.